It's been a day, y'all. I've been enjoying some drink. Been fighting some mental demons today. And thought about not going live tonight, but my good friends, J1 and Jelly, were like, fucking grind it out. So I'm ready to go. I am drinking my last of my Kona Brewing Company light blonde ale. I've shared this out that I may be getting a little silly tonight. I brought down my Christmas present from my in-laws, some blackberry moonshine, and of course I'm not a savage, so I have a little bit of ice in my Mickey Mouse cup, and I'm ready to go. But been sitting in my basement all day. It's been virtual parent-teacher conferences. We've got a good 6 inches of snow, and they shut down school for the last 2 days. So I've just been kind of sitting here waiting to talk to people and thinking about shit. So it's been kind of wild. You can see there's our friendly neighborhood crocodile today. If you watched today's video, then you would be familiar with this good old hat. I am rocking my new Taylor Winder Don't Be a Dick hat. And to show how silly we may get with some giveaways tonight, I normally turn the super chat bot off, or I forget to turn it off, and I'm like, we'll just roll those into an auction. We did a super chat when Travis was here, and Granite State Punk was successfully funded, and that, I think, closed this morning. So very excited to see the next edition of that book, or the next edition of Travis's books come out. But I wanted to do another kind of super chat giveaway. One is a thank you to anybody who's like, here's $1. And second, maybe I can get like $6 to not lose my ass. Because if you watched yesterday's video, you know I picked up a slab that was kind of cool. And while I don't want to put it up to get rid of it, a certain 3-year-old co-host said it was kind of scary. So in addition to giving away or announcing our poser pile winner tonight, in addition to giving away a slab that I put in the Discord bot that I think goes off in about an hour and a half, this 9/6 We Live #5, the second print from Rabbit Comics, that is signed by Gorkum Demir. I'm going to put this up in the super chat. So as long as somebody's like, here's $1, then you could take home this slab. In terms of the poser pile, this week, one of the other reasons why it's been a little bit of a rough week, I found out Wednesday afternoon after I had to come home sick from work that Ryan, the owner of Lunatics Comics, who is the shop next to my school, unexpectedly passed over the weekend. And I got to pick up my books on Tuesday night from the LCS by my house, so I didn't grab a lot of extras. So either tomorrow or Saturday, I will go and pick up hopefully a Venom #5 for the good people out there. Hopefully the second Goblin Queen. If not, I've got, a good old pile of very interesting books from the last couple of weeks to give away. Because like I said, I'm embracing my full Oprah. That one of the things that, I wanted to do when I started this channel almost 2 years ago in April was find people to connect with in the community. And the second thing that I wanted to do is make sure that if I got stuff that other folks fell in love with more than me, then I would part with it with ease. So that's why I am doing all kinds of wild giveaways. And now that I see that Shutter's popped in to the chat on the bottom, here's a quick shipping update from the folks who got this last round of my Instagram mystery box, or folks who picked up stuff on Saturday's Whatnot auction, because I had to deal with some family stuff on Monday, and I've been a single dad for the last couple of days because my wife is in LA on business, and then we got snowpocalypse. It looks like everything that I've got sitting on the table out there ready to go upstairs and get in the car looks like it's going to ship on Saturday. So everybody who I owe something, you will be getting some tracking numbers and stuff like that, hopefully Sunday afternoon. So aside from me sounding like a depressed bitch at the beginning of this because it's been a rough day, you can see that I'm finishing up some reading. Like I said in my pull list video, I don't know if I ever picked up Cloak number 2, so I'm reading Cloak number 2 before I read Cloak number 3. But once the rest of the panel is ready to go, I'll start clicking people in. If you want to let me know that you're ready to go by either turning your camera on or unmuting yourself, I'll bring you in a glorious, glorious fashion. But everybody who's kicking it in the chat tonight, I appreciate seeing you. I finally made Sir William Albright blue. Deadpool 420, while he won like all of the Discord giveaways last week, picked up a ridiculous stack of comics from my Whatnot auction for like $3. So the upside is now I can ship everything with that Whatnot label. I got a wrench Tate. I'll do that when I lean back over to my computer over here. We got my buddy Cole's Comics Claims in the house that you should not just subscribe to my buddy Cole, who is breaking stuff down every day. Cole's got his first Whatnot auction Saturday. I think he said 1 Eastern. And if I'm wrong, you can let me know. But it's announced on Bruce and Stephanie Comics' channel on Wednesday. They're getting ready to launch a Tuesday night live show with them, Cole, and Steve Hayner. So you should give them a check out. We got Kenneth Bird in the house. Hello. Good sir. We got Umpty. Thank you for hopping in. David, thank you for joining us this evening. Let's see. I've said hi to all of them. Ringing the bell. Getting a 1 in 100. Yeah, y'all were having some good pre-shop talk. I appreciate the nice things y'all are saying. Hello, Ian. Kenneth, I appreciate the support that you give me. Like I said, probably next month when I got a little extra walking around cash, I'm going to DM you and hit you up with that address and pay back some of that love. And thank you, Umpty, for a super chat this evening that you are going to be on the wheel that I'll make here in a few minutes for this We Live number 5 second print signed by Gorkum. Cole's auction is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you can follow him and Cole's Wrench. So you can drop that Whatnot link. If you've not been on Whatnot before, then you can click on Cole's link and you can get $10 credited towards the first purchase that you make. And it enters Cole in a sweet Whatnot promotional giveaway that they're doing. We got my boy Harsh here in the house this evening. How's it going, good sir? We got Oddball Comics. Thank you for joining us. Deadpool 420. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Let's see if you can get some good luck and I can crack open your box and wedge a second slab in there. And then we got my buddy Eric from Two Boys and Their Pops in the house. So I'm going to now just start randomly and indiscriminately clicking on members of the panel and see if they pop in and say what's up. But we got my Okie to the south.
Hi.
Did you get some snow?
No.
Oh, it stayed north of you?
We got like some seriously like ridiculously cold wind.
Nice.
But no snow.
So
but for sure, like, oh my God, freezing. Like I got my little heater on down here.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to see if it swung up and hit, if it got cold in Michigan, or I was talking to a couple of folks who live around Chicago today that I know they basically got hit with the stuff we saw last night, but the kids are excited that they get to play in the snow tomorrow because I don't have to work.
Exactly.
We got Jelly, who's, I was going to say, he's not wearing that ugly ass hat, and then I saw the white SOX on the bottom of it. Cole said it snowed a lot in Michigan. Jelly, how you doing tonight? I saw you've had a hell of an on-call week.
Yeah, I'm on call tonight too, so fingers crossed on this one.
So at some point you're just like, fuck, I gotta go.
Yeah, could be.
Nice.
So we got some I couldn't miss it tonight because we got the finale to wrap up of Primordial.
Yeah, I went and read those last like 6 pages 3 times, and my emotions changed each time. So I'm excited to see what y'all have to say about it. Somebody's who's typing as me has been in that beanie on the old what is it, Discord. I was like, what is that? Or not Discord, Twitch. All right, and then we got a pair of California bums, or I guess a trio on 2 screens who are hanging out with us tonight. We got AM and KM, and we got Helvetica in the house. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
It is just a solo because he's out getting pizza. So for right now, it's your boy,
Kane. The one who reads comics?
The ones that read comics. Wait, can somebody explain to me the ending of Primordial, man? I'm not
oh my God, dude. Not this shit again.
We'll get there. So let's fire this up real fast. So y'all know that of the couple of books that we've been obsessed about, we've gone to town on Ma. We fell in love with Crossover publicly after that last issue. But Primordial has been the book that I would think is the most divisive amongst us. Not that like some love and some hate. It's that some issues we feel is a high and the other will be like, maybe this is a bit of a letdown. And then, we've got from like episode 3, Professor Abob's speech bubble school to KM, which was then followed up in like episode 5 with us maybe going, oh shit, KM might have been right.
That's what I was referencing, by the way, the thought bubbles.
Yeah. So we'll just hop in. So if you have not read Primordial number 5, you've had like 36 hours to do so. So we're about to spoil the shit out of this one because it is the definitive ending. While we thought it may see the potential for another arc, it was like the end, and then you flip the page. And then you go, here's where you can get all of the new Lemire Sorrentino stuff that's coming out in 2022. And it's like, fuck you, Primordial's not on that list. That ending makes me feel sad. So we'll enter in Professor Abob to break down Primordial for us.
So again, loved it, right? Mostly. I've got to say the word mostly. But we're getting the thought bubbles again, right? And Abel, right? Because, in the last chapter, if you didn't see it, Abel literally just got shot in the freaking heart, right?
Yep.
And she's like, hate this thing. I'm like, well, if I got shot in the heart, I would too. But then we got this like mysterious kind of, I don't even know, tentacle kind of looking thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like the nice way to put it. It starts out at just a voice, right? And it's not a thought; it's a voice. It's an out loud, right, voice speaking. And then you actually get some sort of physical manifestation. And when it touches it, when Abel touches it, or gets to, well, it actually doesn't even touch it, but just gets like really close to it, you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Right? Why is the monkey evaporating? And at the same time, like, you know, Abel thinks she's dying and that she's done for and everything else. And the voice is like, it's not ending. Nothing ends. Change. There is only change, right? And you're like, did it just? And then like the very next page, you're sitting there going like, did it just turn back time? Or did it? What did it do? Because it goes from, you know, monkey evaporating to, well, now monkey's right there with freaking Leica and Eva, right? I can't remember the little monkey name. But like now everything's like hunky dory. And Abel's scared, is, you know, Leica the dog's asking. Abel's not scared. Abel remembers. Gift. And then Leica remember gift, right? And those are, you know, the thoughts and everything. And then Abel's like, time, it is time. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And all the backstory, all the people, right?
Yeah.
Everything's going on. You actually get some closure in here that you don't normally get.
But when we get the trip of the old woman,
oh yeah,
seeing Donald across time.
Oh, exactly.
And that makes some more sense of what we were confused by with some of the jumping, where I'll go full scientist, poke a hole in a piece of paper, wormhole theory in a minute, but
like literally like right there, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's over. It's okay.
Yeah.
You made contact. And I'm like, oh, snap. And he's dying. Like, he's straight up, you know, Donald's done. And then, you know, they decide the fighters are like, oh, well, let's keep shooting. Apparently we didn't do enough damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the grandma, she's like, it's almost time. Anyways, the crazy in this is that Abel, she does something, right? She reaches out and she touches this giant ball of light and basically goes, it's time to change. Big change. All of it. And then, I mean, literally like everything. Every single thing. Like, you can go through the story, right? But everything's changing.
Yeah.
Everything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you know, the old woman, she's like, her daughter is like, Grandma, I'm scared, or her granddaughter. And she's like, don't be scared, my dear. There's nothing to fear. Not for long. As they all start freaking turning into little boxes of nothingness. Right? And then right here, there's more of that crossing over through time, right? Again.
Yeah.
Leica, I don't know how long it will take to reach her, but I will be waiting. I will be here. I am here. and I am still here. And it is. Then there's the whole freaking apparently basically the whole universe is going crazy. And there's Leica. And I don't know if they're at this point in time they're getting ready to start rebuilding the entire universe.
Yeah.
Restarting time, fixing the time line. I mean, so freaking great. And it ends right with Grandma sitting here holding Leica. But the crazy part is there's so much left up to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just the dog in her? Is that all that's left in the whole freaking universe? Because I don't see the monkeys anymore.
Yeah. Well, and what really fucked with me really fast is this negative space.
Yeah.
After the first hug. We were talking about a book 2 weeks ago where there were people who would write stuff off panel or constantly write stuff in the bottom margin. But when you're leaving a third or a quarter of a page just left hanging, that is me going, what the fuck?
What were you going to do there? What's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
I have a thought and theory about that.
Go for it.
Well, just as the layout kind of looks and the way that it feels, if I were to have done something like that, the whole emphasis on empty space, what is it? It's nothing, right? So at the end of the day, when you sit there and you're embracing somebody, the only thing that goes through your head is nothing.
Yeah.
So in the second that you're embracing somebody, I mean, wouldn't it be just fitting that closed caption is just, it's just complete absence? I mean, it's just, you get lost in it. It's negative space, so what is negative space except just a whole lot of nothing?
Well, and
I think maybe that's just a moment of clarity,
Well, I get what you're saying on that one, right? But I think it's the phase out of the entire everything.
Yeah. Because I like the parallel between the negative space on this page and then this final panel where they're...
Yeah. If you go to the top page of that, it's intense color.
Yeah.
Right, and that one page is just beautiful, intense color, and then a little slimmer, a little lighter, little lighter, little lighter, little lighter, until you get to that very last picture. It's as light as can be, and then finally, the end. There's nothing left. The entire human race and planet and everything just erased.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. The grandma. That's the younger girl from the dog, right? In the music. That's why she kept saying waiting, right? I was just trying to knock that out.
Because that's the woman who's doing stuff with Donald throughout the front end. That she's the woman that basically they hook up, and then they're the one who's fighting and running away from the Soviet authority. So, if you didn't see, in turn, I'm going to keep drinking and just give a bunch of stuff away. Primordial is one of these books that I bought a bunch of covers of, both the main stuff, and I have I would say a J1, an 18th of J1's Nice House cover pile, but I still don't think that that's small enough. So if you describe your favorite conspiracy theory in the chat, because I'll connect the dots of the story to some science and some conspiracy theory stuff, we'll pick a winner. So let us know in the chat where you're at. But I like that thought process, Vetica.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I mean, this is coming from someone who hasn't read it. So,
I mean, it looks like he's the last we see is him bleeding out, and then him acknowledging that their message made it to Abel and Leica. And he, the last thing that we see from him is him saying, "We did it, they hurt us." So, presumably he dies?
Yeah.
And he's okay with it? like, because mission accomplished.
But that's what I'm saying. The monkeys couldn't go back in time and save him.
Well, and I think, where's it at? Not the cubes. But there becomes a question of, like, we don't know how long it will take for the message to connect. So, like, I'm wondering if from this panel where we start to see that, like, cubic disintegration, that she says, I don't know how long it'll take to reach her, but I'll be here waiting. I'm wondering if Donald and the Russian gal are from different timelines.
Ooh.
And one of the things that maybe, if everything ends up well and good with Leica or with Abel and her connecting, does the same thing happen the other way around? Because, you know, we've talked about what some of the symbols look like, and it almost looks like when this massive series of cubes kind of, you know, erupts around the light ball, that it looks like that it starts to just kind of spread into, you know, infinite realities. So
yeah, if you notice a couple pages back on that cube, like the different faces have like different, like, looks like different scenarios and stuff. What's up, Tate? So I don't know if those are different realities in the cubes. That's kind of the vibe I got, was just because there was different look. You know, you were seeing the fighter pilot in one frame, and then a different one, maybe saying something different, and so that was kind of interesting. But overall, I thought it was a giant pile of crap. I thought it was
go for it.
And so unsatisfying.
I had that same.
Ooh, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. Let it have it.
Yeah. Well, I just thought something would be wrapped up, like some sort of, I don't know. It was just so unsatisfying. Like, it felt like a cop out last issue. Like, I don't know how to finish this, so I'm going to write a lot of open-ended things. So maybe it looks like this kind of meta thought of user finish it. What do you think happened? And it's just like,
thank you, David.
Man. It's like, I would have rather had it go 5 more issues than end that way. Because I feel like none of the stories were really fleshed out. It was so much open to interpretation that it just, I don't know, it felt like a lazy ending to me. So that's my hot take for the night.
So I
don't disagree with you. I really don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the whole freaking not closing everything up, or not even closing really anything other than her getting back to the dog.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only, and I'm not even sure if that was really resolved. It's the fact they made their way back to each other. I mean, you know, like, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
what
I do like is we can all kind of speculate at the ending, and I like how, as we're all kind of slightly describing a different world, we're like, yeah, that would be kind of cool. But I like the idea of being able to play with it, but I also want a definitive ending. That I agree with Jelly's criticism that,
I mean, I don't mind maybe, like, if we're nitpicking on the story and really diving deep, we're like, oh, you know, I wonder how that part of it ended, you know, like, but that's how it is for everything.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know anything. We don't even know what was happening at the end.
Yeah.
So
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit of the way Lemire writes. Like, May's book just wrapped up, and May's book has that same kind of non-ending ending where it's like, here's a sense of closure, but you now have fun doing mental gymnastics building it.
There was no sense of closure on this, to me at least. I didn't feel good about anything. I didn't have anything invested in the dog making its way back to the original train. Like, nothing. Like, it just, I don't know if it was too quick, but it was fun talking about along the way, speculating what was going to happen. But, man, it just fell flat for me.
Now, can I ask a question on this? When they do a 5-issue series and the book is going in a certain way, right? And is it meant to go a 5-issue series because it might be a second run to this, or is it just because it's a 1 and 5 and done?
So that answer is changed based on different authors or creators that I've talked to. Like, you can tell this ending is open to interpretation, right? And I think we would maybe feel a little differently if on the final page it didn't say the end, or it said like the end with a question mark, or if it played with, you know, a to be continued kind of thing. Because normally by around issue 2 or 3, they're going to know whether or not sales of the first 2 or 3 issues have justified continuing or shutting down the series. Like, in talking with David Hazan, the author of Nottingham, he was confident by the time issue number 2 was released, and we had already seen like the 3rd printing of 1 and already a 2nd printing ordered for the 2nd one. He was like, I'm not going to tell you that we're continuing the script, but
yeah.
And you could tell by that ending, especially with that final bit, that it plays. Tate, I think, makes a pretty good point here, right? Like, we see the language in the story that nothing ever ends. And I'll tell you, the moment that Image is like, fuck you, Primordial 6 is coming out in blah, 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 I'll pick it up.
I will too, because I want to find out what the hell happened.
Yeah.
But I agree with those limited series. I think it used to be, and especially with the like kind of AWA, you've got writers that are writing more short stories.
Yeah.
That aren't willing to do like a long series. Like, hey, you know what? I got a 5-issue book here. It's good. You know, it's a nice story. I think a lot of times now they're testing the waters, saying, we gave them 5 issues.
Yeah.
But if it's good, we'll pick it up for a longer run.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives them an out as well.
But we know who Jeff Lemire is. We know what he's capable of. We've seen his hits and misses. Yeah. So you got to think, and like comparing this to May's book, like I can see them kind of ending in the same satisfying, unsatisfying way, right? That he likes to find ways to fuck with you like that, or leave things open to interpretation, right? Like, I am 6 issues away from finishing the initial run of Sweet Tooth, and I'm gonna guess that sets up to the same kind of non-ending, and then here we were where we get the return.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth definitely ended. It was an open ending, but it was an open ending. I can see the purpose for it. I'll put it.
Yeah, and it was an open ending after what, like 3 arcs, 4? I can't remember.
Ooh, that's a good question. I thought it was 3.
But I mean, maybe that's one of those things that we know what to get into. And you know, the other series that we've talked about a lot was Ma. That, you know, we had the same kind of concerns with Ma after issue number 4 that we did with issue number 5 of Primordial, where it's like, oh, fuck, you just opened a can of worms.
Yeah.
And I feel like comparing the 2 endings, even if we didn't universally feel as good about how Maw kind of landed, where it was like you still have a bunch of shit that you can play with.
Yeah.
Like Maw at least makes sense ending the way that it did.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the two endings between those two books are night and day. Like Maw resolved for the most part, but left a lot of wiggle room to continue, like onto a second arc. Where this, I don't even know where a second arc would begin. Would it begin with the last event? Would it, would it go back to the dogs? Would it explain more of how they survived through this time? And, I mean, there's all kinds of.
I'm looking at Cole's comment. So Cole and I had a good conversation when I fell super in love with Family Tree, which was 12 issues. And it did the same kind of like random non-ending. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. But now that I've read more Lemire, Kenneth, it's comic_book_poser. And it should be in the description of the video, I think, but it's comic_book_poser. But like Cole was like, have you read this? Have you read this? Have you read this? And I could see in looking at some of those other titles now, like you can see when Lemire puts a definitive end on something versus,
hang on a second. Let me call in.
It was like Jelly got work. So while Jelly deals with that, I feel like the rest of us can chime in on these favorite conspiracy theories and pick a winner. So we got. I went up way too far. So Tate picks the Mandela effect, where like we all think it's the Berenstain Bears, but it's the Berenstain Bears, that you have enough people who claim to remember something in a similar way, and we shift our reality, and then when we see what it really looks like, we deny it, and we're like, boo, fuck. Deadpool 420 says, could perfectly square blocks be placed in the middle of nowhere on a mountain by extraterrestrials? That he's team Ancient Aliens. I like that one. Umpty says Bill Gates is using the COVID vaccine to inject 5G tracking chips in the people so he can acquire world power.
I'm for that one. I like that one.
Cole says big fast food is making people get sick from Chipotle because they use non-GMO meats and products. I'm intrigued by that one. And we have anything else pop in?
I'm looking.
I think those are it.
Oh, Kenneth Bird would like your channel so that he can share it.
Yeah, I'll type it. I'll spin over to my other computer in a second.
I'm kind of torn between the fast food and the Bill Gates chipping everybody.
Yeah. Because what was the first one, the Mandela effect? I've heard Mandela effect before. I have not heard Cole's. I've heard the 5G. So I'm torn in the same way. KM or Helvetica, you have a thought on either Cole's Chipotle conspiracy theory or Umpty's Bill Gates 5G conspiracy theory?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the whole Bill Gates thing. I think that's probably my favorite one, man, because you think about it, man. I mean, like the one thing Bill Gates couldn't really get together with Windows was viruses, and you know what I mean? So now here we are, it's full circle with this conspiracy theory. I mean, if the boot fits, I'm just saying.
I like that, and I like the play with the word viruses that you did there. Verse more.
He went from unable to battle viruses to taking advantage of them.
All right,
I gotta go all the way. I had to go all the way to the top to find it, but fucking Deadpool 420 had me rolling on this one because sometimes late at night I'm watching the
Ancient
History
Aliens.
Channel,
Yeah.
and it goes into Ancient Aliens, and that's what that shit says. The alien theories say. Oh my god! I was like, oh, I gotta go with Deadpool, man, because it was part of the show. And then you got that one weirdo dude with his hair all puffed up, and that's the guy that I reminded myself of.
Oh,
right, hold
dude,
on.
that reminds me.
You know what I'm talking about, guys? The dude with the weird looking hair.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Can we get KM's face photoshopped on that guy?
Yeah. Just DM me and I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh my
my god! I
Okay.
was going with Deadpool, and
instead-
now it turns into a meme.
Hold on,
So-
dude. Hey, there's
I'm-
some.
I'm going to put in the private chat the order that I wrote these 4 down on my notepad. And I just want you to give me in that order your rankings. So, like, I've got it in Aliens, Mandela, Chipotle, and then 5G. So if you have that as like 4, 2, 1, 3, like put your numerical rankings on those in the private chat, and we'll announce a winner that way.
Chipotle.
Bill Gates. Wait, which one was Bill Gates?
What?
5G.
5G.
Yeah. There you go. I thought you were asking who Bill Gates was. I was about to say, dude, what's going on right now?
No, I was asked so I can participate. 5G.
All right.
Deadpool, man, you had me cracking up, man. If you're still here, man, I had to put mute. Fucking, you had me crying over here.
So can we get panel members camera the vaccine so they'll have better reception during auctions?
Yeah, no shit.
AM.
Must be vaccinated to auction.
No.
All right. So the panel preferred, and I'm gonna click on it.
Drum roll, please.
The 3 of them said Bill Gates. So, Umpty, I will get you a set of Primordial.
Which is
Congratulations, you, sir.
totally worth it and worth the read.
Yeah.
That was one of the things we started out with on this show was, would you keep buying it? Yes. If they, even with this, if they came out with a chapter 6, I'm in.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel bad about buying all the singles of these.
No.
I don't feel bad about buying exclusives because the art on those covers and the art, like we've never complained about the art in this book, that just the ending to it, right? Or the trying to bite off a lot and chew and swallow and digest it in 6 issues has been rough. And Tate says he calls conspiracy. There you go. So it's a conspiracy about conspiracies. I'll take it, but I have that note. And then KM or Helvetica, you want to talk about a book next, and I'll come up with another random giveaway.
So, I haven't read anything. I'm just back here drawing. I just wanted to hop in just to see what's up. So I'm just full disclosure.
Okay. Then the
Well. I knew Helvetica wasn't going to read, so I jumped in a little reading.
I just can't read, dude. I just look at pictures.
So today we're gonna do it like this. Lean back. You know what I mean? Relax. How's it going, guys? Just because I want to show up. I mean, Poser, did you get some of this stuff, brother?
My shop doesn't get very much second sight. I might have a copy of that one to read my email. And I have not seen that one, but that looks spoopy.
Yeah. That first one looked killer, honestly.
But all three of those were second sight, right?
Yeah. Then I haven't gotten to this one yet.
Oh, that's Hedrick, right? Freak Show Kingdom.
Yeah.
My shop had that, but I got that from backing something that he did on Kickstarter. That's the same cat that wrote the Recount.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Ooh, what's that?
And then this is called Athena the Undying. And it's kind of like a nice, she's like a vampire mythology kind of book going right here. But yeah, man, I wanted to chime in on, so I don't want to spoil a lot of these. What I want to say, because that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to spoil these, even though this is kind of like we break down what we read. But what I was going to say was give a shout out to Second Sight. Now, this is my first time picking up some books from here. I'm not going to lie. Maybe if we did before, I bypassed it. But, man, these reads were good. Now, on this one, dude, now you would think, oh, it's a low print publishing, but just see some of the artwork in here, guys. And then so this detective has to go see a murder scene, right?
David Galliano's on Freak Show Kingdom. I forgot about that. I love David Galliano's art.
Oh, dude, this some of this artwork was spot on. There's this crime scene, bro. Like, look at the crime scene where they decapitate this guy, and it's just, dude, gory. And right spot on the artwork. Oh, shit, Jelly's back. Jelly!
Listen, I'm going to have to dip in a little bit, though.
Well, when you're ready to bounce fully, we'll bring you up for a glorious goodbye, and I'll drink some blackberry moonshine to your face.
Do you need to shove something down somebody's throat, sir?
Yeah, I think I do.
I'm sorry.
In about an hour.
I am really
used to think that was a good thing.
With these pickups.
Yeah. Sounds more exciting.
I don't want to spoil the story, but these are some badass kids. And I don't mean in like badass kids, like they bad kids. And so on this one, it was a 2-part, 1 and 2, and it's kind of like, I don't know if this creature might be alien or if it's something, but it's stuck in like one of the mountains out there, I think in the Himalayas. Let me see. And another, I'm just going to show some of the artwork, guys. I mean, if your local comic shop doesn't order these books, but you like this type of reading, let your boy know. I'll get you some of these. And then on the first team, in chapter 1, the first team goes down. So in chapter 2, there's a rescue mission to see. Well, there's a mission to rescue the first team that went missing, and I just wanted to show off some of they go out of the box to think about a different story. On Silence, it's cool because it's like about a failed comic book artist. Like, he used to be hot, and then he just stopped trying. So, you know, he's just eating hot dogs and shit, and then just like not really taking care of himself. You know, just walking around. You know, like not really paying attention. And in the midst of all that, he has a little heart attack. So they tell him to just take a break and go in this area where it's supposed to be silent. Maybe for him to get back on his feet, or you know what I mean? Maybe get back on his passion of drawing. So this is the place that he goes and hang out, you know, enjoy your silence, right? But as he's enjoying his silence, he goes on this little trance where somebody's making noise, and he starts looking out the window, and you physically don't see him axe anybody, but then you see the guy, and then you see him getting axed. But the only person that was next to him was the big guy. So, and then after that, he's all asleep. You know what I mean, having a good old night, and then everything is quiet again. So this is Silent issue number 2 that is coming up. I don't want to burn these stories because Poser said they're really hard to find. I looked at them and I ordered 3 of each. Poser, you know what? I felt like an idiot. I should have ordered 5 or 6. I would have showed you how to copy.
Yeah.
Because, as soon as Lady Vetica saw all the crazy covers, she took a set. And
well, did you pick those up through Diamond?
Yeah. If there's more, you want some?
Go to their website because they have a wholesale store that you can access that I'm guessing you just have to share with them like your shop credentials. Some of their web store exclusives are insane. And you as a shop can get them at Diamond cost. What? Because for $4 books, right? They're all $1.75 in their shop. Except for the trade. So that would be worth looking at. And I just clicked on their store to look for other things. And like they've got a pair of web exclusives for These Damn Kids that the trade and the Virgin look real good. There's a black and white These Damn Kids that look good. The Virgin cover for Silence is absolutely insane.
You would love this story. These Damn Kids. Yeah.
Spooky says he wants one if you've got an extra one.
Oh, I got you, Spooky. Which one? Hey, have you spoken about Second Sight before?
I have picked up or read a book from somebody. Like the way that I got into Zenescope was from other creators that I have read who ended up writing some Zenescope books. So that's the only reason I was familiar with Freak Show Kingdom is because of Hedrick and Galliano. So I'm definitely going to hit them up.
Second Sight put out a ton of stuff this week.
Yeah. One, I wonder if they follow a Source Point model where...
I think it seems like it's a once a month.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's give away... Let's give away something spooky. So in the chat, give us either your favorite scary story or your favorite horror movie. That will reach back to some of the things that we talked about on Halloween. Ooh. So Cole says some of those books are not very good. That there still might be panel notes on there.
Yeah.
And there may have been a printer issue. Okay.
Yeah, the ones that I read were all right. There's a couple that I haven't got to. Athena. I have not gone to Freak Show. I haven't gotten to a couple other books. I'm not gonna lie. I've only read 3. So far, I've been satisfied though with the first 3 books I read. Satisfied. But I also went off of the cover. I'm not gonna lie. I really look at the cover. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll probably get into this one real quick. I mean, the detail on some of this was really awesome. Even on the cover itself.
Did you guys get a chance to look at the free comic book day books for 2022?
I had seen some of them, but they all weren't in. They all weren't on the previews website yet.
Yeah, looks like Diamond put them all out last month. Or most of them. There's some interesting ones.
Nice. I'm going to take a second and make a quick note. And then we'll pick whose horror movie we like the best. But I will give away some spooky books. But I'll see if I can feed myself a link on my other computer.
Really spooky.
Geely.
Really spooky. That's your favorite horror movie, really?
Nice.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez spooky, really?
Oh, Geely.
All right, so what do we got? Ernest Scared Stupid. My wife, that's one of her Halloween go-to.
Oh, I used to love that movie as a kid.
One. With the fucking creepy ass trolls. That's a respect answer, Umpty. Kenneth says Freddy versus Jason. I like that. I think there are two movies from each of those franchises that did things to me. I think the Freddy movie that screwed with me the most was Wes Craven's A New Nightmare, where the props came to life and they were attacking the actors in the real world. And then I constantly will think about Jason X, because that's the one that took place in space.
Yeah.
So there's one point where like they try and distract him with like two scantily clad co-eds, and you can see like a couple of frames later that he had killed one and stuffed her in a sleeping bag and is beating the other one to death with the sleeping bag. I like that. Cole says Scream and the
Leprechaun
show
in
is
Space
underrated.
is another good space horror flick.
Oh yeah, Leprechaun in Space, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shining. Oh, The Thing from 82 is good. Deadpool 420 says can't go wrong with Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Jaws. Oh, Bunnicula. I see what you did there, J1.
Dude, I loved that one.
So, two of my kids know most of the lyrics to Time Warp. So I'm just waiting for Toby to accidentally learn about being a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Oh, shit. I missed.
Hey, Tim Curry.
It's not going to let me click on it. But Tyson, White Pages, thank you so very much for the super chat. And I'll show the book I'm giving away here in a second. But we got Rocky Horror. All right, panel, what do you think? What do you agree with from the list? What do you think the best answer is?
I think I saw someone put The Shining, no?
Yeah.
I gotta agree with that one.
David Reese says The Shining.
That was disturbing as a kid.
That's kind of hard to argue with. That ranks way up there, like, honest to God, with The Thing with me, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, like, The Raven or, like, Telltale Heart or something like that. Like some old Poe.
Nevermore.
See, I'm going to give Deadpool the shaft on this one that I'm not going to vote for him because the only way I'm opening his box is if he wins the slab tonight.
He will. He wins everything else.
That's true. I guess either of the slabs, because did I say I was going to give away a slab in the Discord giveaway?
Trucker and Dale versus Evil.
That shit is hysterical. It is amazing.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
It's on Netflix.
I never even heard of it.
It's because it's a play on like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like a big part of the movie thread. But then it's also one of those like movies that makes fun of horror films, but not in a big over the top kind of way. So it's not like when the Wayans brothers did their like scary movie and all that kind of shit. Like it's one of those, it's the 2010 version of the classic like B horror film. So that's a good one. Ooh, and White Pages says The Exorcist. All right, everybody. Declare your allegiances to an answer from the chat.
Ooh. Let me look back here. Oh, Ernest Scared Stupid. Miak.
I love that movie.
Oh, dude, that's great.
That shit made me laugh.
Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite movies all time.
But if we're going horror,
I'm going through all the answers.
let me see. We got to put it in the private chat, right?
Yeah, that way we can be spoopy. Oh, and J1, thank you for the super chat.
In the private chat, not the private.
Hands down.
That's AM's favorite.
Hands down. Nothing gave me more nightmares as a kid.
Night of the Living Dead.
The original Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know which
man.
one really fucked with me when I was little? I don't know which Nightmare on Elm Street it is, but I couldn't get it out of my head. Is that one when Johnny Depp gets pulled into the bed and gets spit on the ceiling?
That was the first one.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
my
original.
God,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that murdered me as a kid. I could not stop seeing it.
That was his first role.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think the first movie that scared the living daylights out of me was It.
Yeah, that's actually kind of up there too.
Yeah.
I'm not a clowns guy.
Another Tim Curry movie.
I have an affinity for Nightmare on Elm Street 2, mostly because I think one of my favorite songs ever is Dramarama singing Anything, Anything. That video is just insane. And maybe we'll play it in a bit, like when we played the Fat Man trailer, and we'll see if we get some kind of a strike because I don't care anymore.
All right. So what are the movies we're voting on?
Anything that anybody said.
Anything anybody said?
Yeah.
Is KM getting the patch pulled off his back of selection?
So from what I've seen, yeah. Yep. I'm with you guys.
Well, I had a different selection, but nobody picked the movie that I had.
What was that?
What was your movie that was your scary?
Well, okay, it's not the movie itself.
Well, never mind then. Never mind. We're gonna get into a tangent here.
Okay,
That's just gonna go off the rails real quick.
You guys know what I'm talking about. What is that one thing that was that 3-book thing that was a cartoon and then it turned into a movie? It's those tales. What are they?
Harry
Tales
Potter?
from the Crypt?
No, he's talking about the scary tales to tell in the
Scary
dark.
stories to be told in the dark.
No, not those ones. No. The ones that were like Tales from the Crypt, but it was a cartoon, and then it would go into a little 3-skit like movie.
Are you talking about the Nickelodeon show Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No.
He totally is.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking of.
No.
All right.
You're not thinking of like Jeepers Creepers or something, are you?
You watch it on HBO and shit like that.
That's
Hell
Tales
nah.
from the Crypt.
Oh, Creep Show. There you go. Spooky knows what I'm talking about. Okay, the Creep Show. Did anybody
that's
ever
the poor
watch?
man's Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Okay, but did you guys ever watch the one where the guy is the hitchhiker, and the lady keeps driving, and the hitchhiker keeps fucking climbing on the car, and she's just no matter where she turns, and he's just bloodied, and every time he gets to her, he's more messed up. There's more blood in his mouth, like the eye is falling out at the end, and dude, that shit. Oh man, thanks for the ride, lady. Yeah, Pop-Tart knows what I'm talking about. Oh, and all he kept saying was "thanks for the ride, lady," and I was like, "Damn, that shit." I couldn't sleep for a couple days after watching that shit. Yeah, White Pages knows what I'm talking about, man. That shit. Out of all of them, hands down, that was the best Creep Show one ever. That one's the one that made me. Not a lot of things got to me, but a guy like that just you couldn't kill him, man. He kept coming, and you couldn't kill him. I was like, God damn, how do you kill that beast?
I feel behind. I've never seen that. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought of a way of how I could change the vibe for a different giveaway. But aside from Marvel books and What's the Furthest Place from Here, the 3 other books that I read, not Primordial, are all spooky. So I will say that you all in
the roaches,
Joe's apartment. That's all I can think of. Welcome to Joe's apartment. So you all can think about, or you all in the chat who didn't write who didn't get The Shining, you can sell the panel on picking your book or movie or story as ready to go. But I love spooky comics. I really think one of the best spooky books / horror anthologies on the market is Hotel. This is volume 2 from AWA. It came out last week, but I got my copy this week. If you've ever seen 4 Rooms, which is like this weird situational comedy, imagine that happening plus the Hotel California of the creepiest, most murdery people you've ever seen. Volume 1 was brilliant. You're starting to see some of the connections to the creepiness of Volume 1 in Volume 2, but this standalone is also amazing. Second, I'll put Crimson Cage on this list. I've loved this book. It is a Southern Fried Wrestling retelling of Macbeth. This issue really fucked me up. And as Cole has said, John Lees is one of his favorite horror writers. The number one thing that these 2 books have in common, aside from both being AWA books, is that they're both John Lees books, that he's crushing it. And then I haven't read Mountainhead, but Jesus Christ, Sync will take you on a wild ride. But in that same kind of, OG creepy Jason Voorhees style vibe, Maniac of New York number 3 came out this week. Or New York, The Bronx is Burning number 3 came out. And I realized that as I was screwing up my pull list, that I had clicked on to subscribe to this issue by issue and somehow had missed issue number 3. And thank God I got to pick one up. But what is happening in this second arc is that, Hardcore Harry, who is the weird murdery guy, is still continuing his reign of terror. In issue number 1 and 2, he was attacking a school where schools basically had this new protocol of how to call into this private security firm to deal with them. And it was just crazy administrivia. But what I like with this is it's playing on some of the riffs of hey, we bullet riddled this guy to death, or we got him run over by a train, or here in this page, three pages in, they hit him with a Molotov cocktail and he doesn't die. And what's interesting in looking at this is the horror of dealing with someone who's super creepy like Hardcore Harry, but then also having to deal with the nightmare of bureaucracy. That just this story from start to finish has been wild. And I want to see if there's one more art panel that I want to show off from this, because I am absolutely smitten with the artist on this book. So yeah, as we're seeing a murder spree in the direction of a stadium, we just see Hardcore Harry murdering people on his way into a baseball stadium. I liked this book, right, that I picked up issue number 1 and fell in love with it, but Andrea Moody is low-key one of my favorite artists, that if you were to search him, you could find that he's just got a very fat portfolio that he's worked for just about every publisher. But what really has brought him to my attention in the past 18 months is that he was the artist on Vlad Dracul from Scout Comics, that it was basically an English interpretation of a comic that he wrote, or that he did the art on with another Italian author. This is also the guy who is doing the art, or did the art, in Bunny Mask. And he's now done the art in both arcs of this, that I really like. In terms of a horror story, we see some stories that do play with nice conventional forms of art, but then we see artists like Moody who just kind of abuse, the notion of clean lines, or, that forms need to be necessarily consistent. And I just really like his dark, twisted style. And I got to interview him maybe this time last year. I don't remember now, but I interviewed the creative team on Vlad Dracul and just kind of talked about this gritty watercolor style, which has really become popular on covers the last 8 to 10 months, right? Because we've seen Peach Momoko do some of these nasty, spooky watercolor covers. David Mack and Johnny Desjardins, right, with the new House of Slaughter and Something is Killing the Children, and that Buffy exclusive that Desjardins did, right, that we're seeing just this gritty watercolor style that I just have fallen more and more in love with in terms of the expression. The folks who are mentioning Silver Coin, so I think Pop-Tart brought it up first, and then Tate's like, oh, I've heard good things about it. I've loved it's David Walsh. The artist is the person who's kind of the individual who conceptualized the universe, and there's been a different author on each issue. And I haven't read the one that's come out this week yet, that I think it's next up in the stack. But this is Vita Ayala's turn at writing, and we know that Vita Ayala can do a big superhero book. We know that they can do a crazy horror book, right? That we saw spooky work in the Wilds. But yeah, I would also, without reading this week's issue, just unconditionally put my stamp of approval on loving what Walsh has done with Silver Coin, because the folks who wrote Volume 1 were super fucking talented. And then as he was pulling the talent together and all that was happening behind the scenes, once it was announced, Volume 2 was like, hold my beer, we got this. So this is one of those stories that can continue on in a long fashion, like an Ice Cream Man, because while the drama is not exclusively the people, it's the coin. So anytime you have somebody who can write that kind of story, it will pull them in. So I'm gonna look over and see if anybody in the private chat has named their second favorite horror story, and they all stepped away from their cameras as I filibustered for a minute. So I haven't seen a second favorite response. So I know I got David on The Shining for the first answer. I'm going through the chat. I'm going to give a second spooky package to White Pages. I think name dropping The Exorcist, I think that did some things in terms of revolutionizing special effects and horror stories and that kind of stuff.
Well,
So
I agree with that.
On there.
Dude, Exorcist alone set a new standard for horror in general. Like, I don't know how else to put that, man. Like, that set a bar.
Yeah. And then I don't think I shared my other spooky movie that has really messed with my life and psyche.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Ghostbusters 2.
Really?
That fucking painting.
Okay, fair enough.
And the guy who plays Vigo is like, I will have legitimate nightmares about that from time to time.
Terrifying.
I love Ghostbusters 2 because you've got the pink slime that makes the Statue of Liberty dance to what Jackie Wilson's Your Love, that toaster dancing scene, like it's so great. But between the guy that they get to play Vigo the Destroyer and what the guy from Ally McBeal, who's the guy that he mind controls, that like that's one of the best like giant and then mousy mind controlled pairings that just fuck with me. I agree with Tate. I think Jaws is something that messed me up too, but I think I was removed from watching Jaws until I was a little older. That Vigo the Carpathian, not the Destroyer. There you go. But the story that my mom loves to tell about my potty mouth is that apparently I learned my first swear word from Ghostbusters 1 in both God damn it and then calling somebody a dick, because that's what they call the dude from the EPA when he pulls the switch.
My youngest daughter learned her first curse word from the Family Guy special of something dark side.
Oh yeah,
when they're doing the mercenary lineup, and he goes, Raggedy Andy, get the fuck out of my mercenary lineup, right?
Yeah.
And legitimately, like, this is a 2-year-old little girl, right? Literally tells the dog to get away from her in perfectness, right? She literally, like, the dog's over there licking on her. It's like, get the fuck away from me. A little 2-year-old girl. And I'm like, well, it looks like we're not going to watch that ever again.
Shudder, Vigo the Carpathian, clowns. Like, in my, like, 2 things that I've gotten from AMKM and from White Pages have Helvetica's Pennywise in there. And, like, I see that sticker and I just throw it to the side. Like, it is so good and so re-traumatizing that I don't want to touch that. And it looks like we're going to pick a third for giveaways. So if you want to change up your answer, you want to lobby for yourself or someone else, J1's going to talk about the book that we've been hyping up for a while now, because you should put some respect on that book because it's got he and Jelly's name on it.
Ooh. Hey, so instead of me, right, you're going to like this. Did I do it right?
There.
Perfect. Can I get it to go full screen? Let's see. Let's see if it works. There we go. So for those of you that don't know, wait, sorry. This is me and Jellyfinger's exclusive that released last week. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it because honestly, like the first time I read it, which was honestly like a long time ago, right? Because, you know, when you're going to do an exclusive, usually you can get a copy ahead of time to peruse it and preview it to see whether you want to actually do it. And so you can get an idea of how you want to do the cover, right?
Yeah.
So this is the actual comic right here digitally. And I just reread it again earlier today because I planned on talking about it. And now I'm liking it more and more, right? Because there's multiple storylines going on here in the beginning. So, like, the story starts out with this gypsy running away from this guy. And then you got the gypsy camp. So it's going to be page 1 on the left, page 2 on the right, and it's going to go down that way, right? So they're talking about, she's up there doing, gymnastics and everything else and balancing beams, and then she falls and hurts herself. And she's like, hurry, the kids have been captured. But then you're like, okay, so now what's going on? So now you're in Transylvania 200 years before, right? And you got some guys, you got a guy here with a shovel, and you're like, what are they? They're in a graveyard? Oh, are they? They're grave robbers. Oh my God. And then who do you have right there? This Nosferatu looking guy, like, oh, you're going to wake the dead. But then, boom, now you're back here again. And now you got the guy just sitting here beating up some kids. They were apparently trying to rob him. I don't want to get too crazy into it and tell you too much about it. But then it keeps going back and forth in time with the storylines, right? So they've dealt with the guy that they were trying to rob, beat him up, and you see him running away with a knife sticking out of his back. Then you're back here with the grave robbers. And he's like, you must be very desperate to rob from the corpse of my beloved family. And they're like, get away from us, old man, or we'll beat you up. And the other one's like, we're just leaving. He's like, oh, only one of you is going to leave here alive. Then you see, oh, yep, he's straight up vampire. But then you're back here again in this gypsy camp. The story bounces around, right? But I think in the next issue it's going to kind of get closer to beating up. But there's some good story in here, right? They're all talking, like in the gypsy side, they're all talking about their family and getting through everything together and trying to keep everybody alive and together. And at the same time, you also got this other story that's from like 200 years prior with Nosferatu. And then now you got this guy right here. Apparently, one of the grave robbers was Vladimir.
Nice.
And you're like, Vladimir? You mean like Vlad the Impaler straight up, like Count Dracula, huh? Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And that's who is freaking the Nosferatu looking guy's freaking henchman. Right? He's been following him around and helping him out for for 10 years, right? And he's like, it's time for you to give me what I want, which is, of course, the immortality. And he's like, your loyalty has been unwavering, my boy, but what you ask for is more of a curse than a reward. You'll be consumed by hunger. It will be your constant companion, your muse, your obsession, and to give in will bury you under a heavy guilt. It's like, yes, my master, I understand, and welcome it. Very well, boy. Leave me to my meal. Arrangements for your replacement will need to be made. Now we're back here again. You got some birds flying in out of the sky, and oh shit, what the hell? Now they're just transforming from being like ravens into dudes?
Nice.
I mean, and then she's getting all onto him because they left him and the girl got beat up because of that and everything. They're talking about, hey, the girl comes in and is like, hey, I saw a wild boar. Hurry, come on. If we go get it, we're going to eat well tonight. Like, good, I'm starving. And they go out trying to hunt for the boar. Well, now we're back here to 177 years ago. I hunger. Fly now. Find me my next meal. Again, Vladimir, you fed just last week. You will stop this overindulgence. So, like, his one rule, right, is you only eat once a month or once per moon. And he says, I am starving, Orlok. I will wait no longer. I feel time creeping up on me. I age every moment I deny myself. He says, I command you to cease the self-obsessed extravagance. We only take a life to save our own. You will abide by my expectations. And now they're talking, the boar and everything else, they're trying to get the boar. And then, oh shit, what the fuck? Now they're surrounded by freaking werewolves in the middle of the forest. Like, what's getting ready to happen there? I have no idea because we're back here again. He tells him, "You disobeyed me for the last time," and slaps him across the face. He's like, "You ungrateful, dirty peasant. You were nothing before I created you, and I can." And then,
Oddball, this is Cover of Darkness #1.
He's like, "Die now, coward. Immortality was wasted on you." And he stabs him straight through the fucking heart, right? And that's where we leave at the end of issue 1. I mean, straight up, like, honest to God, man, loved it. I think it's got some interestingness that can really come together in this. I really, like, I'm happy with this.
Well, and I'll say that, you know, once the two things that introduced me to Source Point Press were Comic Burrito, and then when, you know, the first free comic book day during COVID was canceled, they hosted a free comic book week on their website where they gave shit away. And they were like, basically, if you put together orders by the end of the week, all you got to pay us is that cumulative shipping. So I picked up all of the stuff that they had up for free. And then I looked at other, you know, stories that they had told that everybody's like, this shit's real good, and spent, you know, $100 to get, you know, $200 in cover price free stuff that they were giving away. That I think Source Point is one of those home runs for horror, in the same way that we've been talking about Black Caravan, or as Cam was pointing out with Second Sight, right? That you think about the kinds of folks who would publish horror stories, and it used to be, right, you know, after EC Comics kind of slowly died off, you would, from your modern indies, get like Aftershock writing spooky things. You'd get the rare Boom spooky story, and then you would get weird conceptual Dark Horse stuff. So I love that, you know, for the most part, you pick up a Source Point book, you have an 85% chance of it being some kind of fucked up horror story in a really cool way, right? And like playing with, like, I like the idea of playing with Dracula and his origin to make him at times maybe feel subservient in this. That I just feel like they take on stories that are a bunch of smart writing, and I really, really very much appreciate that.
Absolutely. And Oddball Comics, I know he answered you, Cover of Darkness, and the reason why I was talking about it was because myself and Jellyfinger Comics, the guy that was on the panel earlier, he had to leave. He is one of my heroes. He's out there trying to save lives. So me and him got together and we did an exclusive together for it. And if you're interested, you can pick it up at AMKM Comics.
Is this exclusive? I'm clicking on that. Helvetica told me how to find where
Ooh,
things
perfect.
got put. So there you go. You can get all the deets there. And I think the only name that J1 didn't drop is that the heat on their exclusive cover is Gorkum Demir. And you can get a fire-ass Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein print that is rocked by the new sultry voice of comic book auctions, America's favorite artist, Helvetica. And I see KM wants to now show you what these beauties look like.
Oh yeah,
physically, because you've got everything but the metal, right? That
the metals are almost here.
Yeah.
So there's the Virgin or the Trade. I'm sorry. Beautiful Gorkum Demir artwork. I mean,
in the video, my God, it doesn't even do it justice, man.
I know. And then there's the Helvetica print. That's amazing sauce. All right, now show him the sexy.
He's getting the Virgin right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Tate wants to know how many issues is it going to be.
So as of right now, I don't know.
As you can see, guys, we operate from the comic shop. And then this is what you're going to get for free. It is what Jay was saying, badass issue. And then the Virgin, man. I mean, just because we do not send out exclusives that does not go into Mylar. That's not how we do things. But just besides the Mylar, just look at the artwork on this bad boy.
That black is so nice, man.
Yeah.
With Gorkum Sig down there at the bottom. He writes it so small.
Oh, yeah, but that's clean SIG placement, too. I like how he did everything on that. Perfect.
So if you get it right, guys, if you get, no matter which version you get, whether you get the Trade or you get the Trade and Virgin set, or you pick up a metal, or you even get a CGC, right? You're going to get the art print with it, which gives you a chance to get one of a very few limited that are signed by the illustrator Helvetica himself. You're also going to get a free cover A of the book so you can read the dang thing, because we want you to read it and enjoy it, because we want you to get hooked on it, because I'm enjoying it. You're also going to get your exclusive, because nobody wants to read an exclusive because you don't like paying that kind of money for a book.
And then touching it.
Yeah.
Are there any of those remarked metals still available?
Yes. Only a couple.
Okay. I may be dibsing one tomorrow based on what payday looks like. But speaking of being able to get something signed by Gorkum, if you popped in late, if you saw today's video, I pulled this out of a Old Man Collectibles mystery box. This is the second print of We Live number 5. That is a, what was it? Rabbit Comics exclusive. And then there you go.
That's
signed
beautiful.
by Gorkum himself. That, again, I pulled this book and about pooped my pants. Do I want to give it away? No. Am I going to give it away to the people who super chatted? Yes, because I want to pay it forward. And Charlie, as you saw in the video, he said too scary.
Yep, Brad Comics is the keeper of that one.
But I like that. And since we did 3 horror books in a row, I went ahead and picked our third winner of getting some spoopy books. And it's mostly because his original suggestion is one of the greatest horror crossovers of all time. He is here for us tonight. So Kenneth Bird, with your Freddy versus Jason, I'm going to send you some horror love and some other love to pay forward the love for a good ass choice. And I love how you keep dropping other ones like, I am Leatherface.
Hey, man. You also got to shout out that Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was that weird kid when I was 6. I would watch that before bed every night.
I loved that fucking movie, dude. When they turned them into cotton candy and then they got the silly straws out.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I want one of those straws.
Mm-hmm. And then the damn popcorn with those crazy oh my god.
Yeah.
That scared the hell
Jack
out of
in
me.
the Box freaking clown faces that come out. Oh god.
VHS.
I had a phobia from movie theaters for a while because of that. Like, no, I'm not dying today, man.
Well, I'm trying to think what the other super creepy one was. Was it Critters?
Critters,
like Critters 1 or 2, where they pop up through a toilet.
That's Critters. Yeah. Yeah. So I loved Critters. I loved Troll.
And Leprechaun.
Troll. Yeah, Leprechaun.
Puppet Master.
Oh, Puppet Master's a good
Phantasm.
One. Oh, that's a good one.
Balls. I love those, dude.
If I had to sit down and I could watch like an entire series over and over again, I'd have to give it to the Hellraiser series. Like my opinion, I love me some Pinhead, Clive Barker, everything about it. Yeah. I mean, it goes to an extent. Some of them are like, what the hell were you thinking making this movie? But the early ones.
Kate with Ghoulies. I love that one too.
Ghoulies is a good one.
Phantasm's killer as well.
The other thing that I'll point out is you've got 12 minutes to enter the Discord giveaway, where I'm giving away a free slab as well. Kenneth, it's me. So if you DM me already, then throw your address onto that, and I'll make sure that I'm guessing right on a couple other things that I've seen you show interest in, and you'll get some love in the next by Saturday.
And if Poser's not going to do it, I'm gonna. All you guys watching right now, get on that and hit that super chat. Give $1, give a couple dollars. Do what you got to do. He's giving away a freaking 9/6 Gorkum Demir signed. Freaking We Live. I mean, come on.
Paying some love forward. Defund the liberals. Thank you, Big Mike.
Why are you getting spammed that?
Mike, who are the liberals? And why should we defund them?
Ooh, Children of the Corn.
Oh, Chud is a good one. I feel like
Leviathan.
It wouldn't be...
I did like Leviathan.
Our usual show.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, now I'm ready.
So it is rare for me at the same time to be able to talk about both a good book and a book that you should buy up every copy that you can for spec value.
Oh my God.
The number of first full appearances that we get, let alone first appearances of different symbiotes, of different colors, of different abilities. Like, I picked up a couple of extra copies of Venom 3 because I thought that new suit would pop off, like as the first cameo,
Spearhead.
whatever that is.
Spearhead.
Yep. Holy shit. I had to read this 3 times to make sure I could catch on not only the context of what everybody could do, and Shutter, I can't see the sticker on this end. I'll look over on my YouTube stream on my other computer in a minute, but thank you so much. I will get you on that wheel.
The birdie fist bump.
Nice. But like, we several times have speculated about what Eddie Brock exactly can do in that power to communicate through like the existence of other symbiotes. And we get, okay, Oddball, I'm going to try to not spoil this aside from holy shit, it's good and there are a lot of things. But like, you know how after Avengers Endgame we wondered about what happened after the snap? We kind of get that revelation in terms of what happens to symbiotes after the end of King in Black.
No, it's more of a what happens to the King in Black when they die.
Oh yeah, but like that was my. How am I not going to try and spoil the middle third of this? But
wow,
for as much as we all loved issue number 4 when we had all read it, like Al Ewing and Ram V are delivering one real fucking good consistent story. Oddball, we already spoiled Primordial tonight with Venom, and the other one in my stack, ASM, we'll go a little soft on, but Venom is real good.
By the way,
yeah,
I forgot to show you Critters.
Ooh, it's gonna eat my butt.
I forgot I had this right here. Critters.
Hold on, Moonshine.
I don't. There's mine.
But here's what I'm intrigued by with this: that I enjoyed Cates' run on Venom. Part of it was because it was good storytelling, I thought. Part of it was I'm a 90s kid with nostalgic attachment to Venom. Hey, NWO. Welcome, brother.
I don't know anybody who likes Venom.
Yeah, that fucking shiny poster that when's issue 1 of the new Lethal Protector come out? Is it mid-March?
It's in March, yeah.
Ooh.
But
Can't wait for that one.
I think where we all kind of agreed that our beef with Cates' run was like, let's build up the hype on this villain, and then Venom just sparks and they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, we saw all of those things happen in the same way. Like, that's what pissed me off with Nick Spencer and the building up of whatever that fucking creepy centipede Venom was, or villain was, throughout his run that we saw in issue number 3 and didn't become relevant again until issue number 40. Like, what I really feel like Ram V and Al Ewing have done across the first 5 issues is established 2 legitimate threats and established a legitimate through line for both father and son without showing the weakness. And I think that was the downside of, you know, the mid-20s issues of Cates, where it was, okay. But the mid-20s issues of Cates, where it was like, here's virus, here's this, like, Null is coming, Null is coming, Null is coming, Null is coming. Okay, now we get a spillover event. Like, I think in terms of me being super excited about a Marvel comic, I will always feel nostalgia for House and Powers of X, because those were the books that brought me back into comics.
Wait, pause.
Yeah.
Time out. Because we started this show after issue that Donny Cates finished. We kind of started this with Al Ewing's issue number 1 of Venom.
Yeah.
My question to you, when you just said that, because I love Donny Cates, and Donny Cates is killing it on the Hulk. That's what I was going to talk about you next, about the Hulk. And I'm loving what he's doing with the Hulk. But now you said something, because remember what happened with Venom 1 through 10? First appearance of Noel, Dylan Brock, first Dylan, first cameo on 7, first Dylan on 9. The whole run was awesome, right? And we was just, what you said was perfect. Noel. Dude, from him fighting,
I saw that oddball. It's on my 2-watch tonight.
From him fighting the Celestials and being a badass that he was, and the creator of the symbiotes, did you get your justice on the end of Venom? Because I felt I didn't. And that's what I didn't like about Donny Cates at the end of Venom, because to me, okay, if you're going to take out Noel, it was too quick of a fight between him and Eddie Brock, and he overpowered him. And to tell you the truth, the light, I think, what was the light? Was it one of the Captain Britain? No, not Captain Britain powers. It was one of, what was that light power that he ended up getting?
I know what you're talking about, but I'm too drunk to remember who gave it.
Captain Universe? Is it what it? Not Captain, I forget what it is, but you know what I'm talking about. So the merger of him and that to defeat Noel, And that was the line. I was really shocked.
By your description, then you're defining the end of Kate's Venom as the end of King in Black, right?
Yeah. Well, the end of King in Black, not the end of Venom, but the end of King in Black that leads to the end of Venom. Do you think overall it was justice?
So I think it did a good job of, like, I don't think Null is fully gone. I think it did a good job of establishing Null as a Thanos, as a Galactus, as, you know, like an Omega level evil mutant, that I think it did a good job of giving the good guys a win against this big power that came out of nowhere. And it didn't do it in a fully arbitrary way that made Null look weak forever. Like, I think the thing that we have learned from, you know, Venom and Absolute Carnage, like all of the symbiote stuff that has come out the last 2 years, is that while humans are learning to adapt to fight against symbiote incursions, the symbiotes are also evolving in a way that will always make them a legitimate threat.
And that's what Ewing is getting into.
Right. And I think even though Null kind of disappears quickly towards the end of King in Black to establish that, like, you know, Eddie and Venom become like the master of the hive, we've learned throughout the beginning of what Ewing and Rom V are doing on Venom that they have not established full dominance. And I think we're seeing a good external threat from the Life Foundation to those who have bonded with or rely on symbiotes. So I think instead of like a symbiote civil war that we saw in King in Black, we're now seeing a return to an external threat trying to take down Venom and any of the other more benevolent symbiotes which have allied with him in the defense of humanity. I think that made sense in my head and came out my mouth that way.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense because, I mean, I get what you're saying because it was too quick. It was too quick. You can actually say that Null was feeling himself too much because he just recently got out of prison of his own planet per se that the symbiotes created for him. You can say that after that he just gained his powers and went after this tear to regain everything. And you can say he got caught off guard. So you're practically saying that he's just lending the position to Eddie Brock for the moment.
Yeah, he bit off more than he could chew. And I think we've seen that he's intuitive enough to learn from that battle. And I think we've kind of learned that no symbiote ever really fully disappears. Hey! Discord just announced it. I'm going to tell a certain Chuck smiley face dude to look at the Discord and see that you want to I'm drunk and you get a slab. So congratulations, Umpty.
Someone won the slab?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Umpty won the Discord slab giveaway.
Oh, okay.
Not the Super Chat Gorkum.
Oh, I thought it was a Gorkum. I was like, what?
No, the Gorkum is the Super Chat. But before I was like, I'll give this Gorkum away tonight.
Hey,
I was
Joe.
like, I'll give away a slab again. But I think Null was dispatched in a more meaningful way to me by the end of King in Black than like Virus was, where it's like, they're going to be a big deal 2 issues down.
Yeah.
That I think he can linger in a more meaningful and non-played out way. Like, while Null is coming, Null is coming, Null is coming, Null is coming, was annoying. I feel like we got enough payoff from seeing how much he could deal with freshly minted from his escape to make him a good long-term threat.
Now, here's my question to you. Is there a not like a rivalry, but a friendly competition between writers? Because we can honestly say that besides Venom, it was Immortal Hulk was the next best top seller for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And now we got Venom and Hulk with opposite writers handing each other their books. What do you think about that? Do you think it was like Marvel doing it on purpose, or it was part of their development?
I think I read they talked about it. Like Cates and Ewing had conversations about liking what they were doing, but they were getting tired of playing in that same sandbox. I'm going to look real quick, and I'm going to make the note that Umpty also got the slab. But I'm going to look and see if I can find the article that I read, because I remember talking to the owner of my LCS about this.
Yeah, dude, because they've been bringing that fire. Just lately, it's been. Whew.
Is it this? All right. Somebody else vamp for a minute so I can stare at this, because I think this is the ICV2 article.
What do you think, Jay? So far with Venom and the Hulk.
Oh, dude, honestly, I can completely agree. I think each of them are like, I can do it better than you. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you right now, the one that you didn't bring up that you shouldn't be sleeping on right now is Thor, because it is fucking fire right now, too.
Yes, I fucked up. You're right. Thor. Oh,
I haven't read this week's yet.
Dude.
I think Key Collector said he gets a new power on the little thing, but I mean that's already been burnt. So it's been all over Key Collector and all over the place. So I haven't read it either.
Dude, Thor. God Thor is not even really God Thor anymore at what this fucking dude.
Well, and for Marvel giving Cates the clout, and Cates having the balls to really go, here's what Mjolnir has been all this time. Let's fucking go.
Right.
Like, I would put Hulk is one of the Marvel mainstays that I'm just hands down the weakest on. And Thor is not too far above him. But you know that we've never really seen an in-depth breakdown of what gave Mjolnir its power, right? We were just like, it's a weapon that was made for a god. The god uses it to harness his power. But then to get this notion, it was last issue where Odin was like, no, I imprisoned a god of storms in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're weak, motherfuckers. I'm strong. Like, that has been the best, like, first appearance of the god that was inside Mjolnir, to him basically going like, here's my dick. Here's how bad I can fuck you all up. So if you read Thor, you can talk about it, and I will read it real fast, J1, because that's the book that I'm like, oh, I need to see what's happening. So you talk, I'm going to pee and read a comic.
No.
Go for it, Jay. Go for it. You already started it, man.
Yep.
I didn't read this week's.
Yeah.
I meant you can't sleep on it because last week was so fucking good.
Okay, J1, then talk about your love of Thor in general while I read it.
I can do that, absolutely, dude.
And I'll tell you if this book pays off then.
Because I went to my I have two LCSs that I go to on a regular. One has the pull box, and the other one I get stuff that I like because he doesn't get all the other stuff. But like that's where I get like my primordials and other random stuff that the other guy just doesn't get any of that stuff. He gets Marvel, he gets DC, and he gets a couple indies. But at the other comic shop that I'll go to this weekend, that's where I get my Strange Academy, my Venom, my Thor, my Miles Morales. Those are every time. And How big is Thor's hammer?
Killer Joe.
So if you go back like throughout the history of Mjolnir, right? Like they've done origin stories on it, but they never ever even came close to talking about it the way that fucking Donny Cates was like, let me tell you what it really is. He's like, oh, I took this god of storms and I just imprisoned him in it. I mean, that's how powerful Odin really was in his prime. I mean, like, he can literally just trap a freaking another god and embed him into a weapon. I mean, how much more badass is Odin? Words are not enough to explain, right? Like he was.
Did you read the Avengers?
Do that?
Did you read the Mighty Avengers at the beginning when they went to like BC and he was getting it on with the Phoenix? Odin's been the beast for a minute when he was young prime Odin.
Oh, dude, Odin. So, like, I think that's actually going to get into the storylines now, right? For all this MCU movies that are getting ready to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Thanos, right? Thanos, the whole Endgame and everything else happened because Odin died. Right?
Oh, that's right.
All of that happened
in
because
the MCU,
Odin died.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odin died in the MCU. That's what made Thanos go, okay, it's time. The only motherfucker I'm scared of is gone now.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt for a second.
Go ahead.
J1, I want you to close your eyes and remember the reaction that you saw to me from that final panel of Crossover 11 when I saw that Negan was there.
Oh, God.
I just hit the last page of Thor with a to be concluded. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's not to be continued, it's to be concluded?
I think it's of this arc because it's part 4 of God of Hammers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show the first 2 pages.
Go ahead.
To show the level of intensity and tell you that it delivers on this. So there's the very first page.
Beta!
Yeah. That it's the if you wish to leave, now's the time. If you choose to stay, a prayer to whatever God would keep it one way or another. This will end in blood.
What the hell is Beta's new weapon? Did he ever choose his new weapon? Was it that sword?
It's that sword for now.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the story. Okay.
That's the next splash. Like the next page is the big splash page of everything getting explained in context. And they're like, oh, fuck this god. The thunder is going to die. And you know, when my boy Throg is ready to fuck everything up. Like when you get Throg and Lockjaw looking that fierce with the man thing down there below it, like there's one other page that I want to show.
Go ahead.
And it's a charge tactic that at one moment you see. You know, you got Lockjaw, you got Baby Throg, you got a Thing, you got a Beta Ray Bill, you got Doctor Strange. I don't know what that big pussy is and who's on top of it. But you get that, and Thor's like, And the last thing that I will say about this issue is that the god of storms says, I only see nails. That's how badass this fight is. The other thing that I'll give Marvel a big shout out to, and I showed this off when I was in a different chat earlier today.
Yes, I love that.
I'm in fucking love with this Last Supper
Isn't there another one?
Ooh.
Is there another one of those?
They have this in, I think, just about every issue that I've seen this week, that I'm so far behind in my modern X-Men that I just started reading by the issue. And then I read last week's New Mutants, and they're like, the next issue is a good jumping on point. And it's like, fuck you, I haven't read the last 11 issues, because X-Men comes out with 70 goddamn issues a week. But just this Immortal X-Men, and you're starting to see the different like layers of the Quiet Council, like start to show their colors in this Last Supper style illustration is fucking
what
amazing. Oh, Oddball says I'm finishing Hellions. I think there was one issue of Hellions that I didn't read, but I did make sure that I went through and read Inferno.
Don't put it away. Don't put it away.
This one?
Yeah, don't put it away. Go back to the centerfold. I wanted you to see something.
Wait, I thought you were going to show the last page.
No, I'm not going to show the last page. Like, if anybody who's reading Thor or J1 will look away, then I'll show the last page. Okay, so you want me to look at the centerfold again?
Look at that carefully. Look what's... So you have the throne chair right there at the center of the table, right?
It's empty with Magneto's helm there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why is he not there?
They killed Magneto?
Well, I'm going to wonder if that's something that we get, because you still see Xavier there.
Yeah.
If that's something that we maybe get from the end of this Lives Deaths.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Like, I hop back in. I'm going to go back and reread things, but like...
Sorry, I just wanted to see if you noticed that, because that was like... That screamed out at me, dude.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. But like out on the table that's right outside of this door in my basement, I have two short boxes sitting on their end. One or three of them. One of them is like, these are the Marvel books that I'm not going to get rid of, but I don't need in here next to me all the time. The other two are, here are all of the X-Men books pre-2020 that I have purchased and have not filed them into my main collection yet. And then here are all of the 2020 and beyond X-Men books, or I guess 2021 and beyond X-Men books that I have bought and not yet read. And the fact that it can fill up that quickly gets disheartening. But when even the staunchest X-Men fan was like, you might want to read just the Inferno mainline and the Trial of Magneto, and then you'll get caught back up. I was like, okay, deal. I'll do that. And now I want to go back and read, like, what's the stuff that happened in the New Mutants where I missed the children getting corrupted and things like that. But just seeing that as the promo has made me go, I want to see a bunch of big, like, I want my own X-Men Last Summer canvas behind me, that with all of my indie-oriented things that are in here. Like, I could take down this stupid-ass candle thing that my wife bought when we were living in our apartment before we got married and go, I want my Last Supper of the X-Men up there. Oh, that's spooky, and then gives the good theory. Magneto may be on Mars. So that vacation.
Oh, I fucking hate you, poser.
Ooh, but spooky. They could just plant a fucking Krakoan gate on Mars, so he wouldn't have to vacate his seat on the Quiet Council.
I'm
right?
Gonna read Thor real quick.
Yeah, you do that. So J1, look away from the screen. I'm gonna put you in the background really fast. So Kane wanted me to show the last page of this issue of Thor. So if you are reading Thor but have not read this issue yet, or you were like, he said, what? Do not look at the screen. Look away, look away, look away. I'm showing it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God! I just saw it in the book too. Oh man!
Okay. Your spoiler has ended. I am putting the Thor back into the bag and the board. But like,
wait though, Poser, he has to do him justice. This is the second time he's done this to this man.
But I think he doesn't have the self-doubt that like, I'll draw a parallel really fast between what Donny Cates has done to Thor and what Nick Spencer did to Spider-Man. Nick Spencer made Spider-Man a sad piece of shit for like 80 issues. And maybe this much of it was warranted for him to be emo. In what Cates has done throughout this run of Thor, we've seen the same kind of predictable levels of self-doubt of, I can't be a good king, I can't carry the hammer. Like, we've seen a good emo, like a good use of like emotional self-doubting Thor. And then this will be 2 weeks in a row, or well, I guess a week off in the middle, where I used how Stella got her groove back analogy. Like, the end of this issue, Thor's found his dick. It is big, and it is swinging in the open.
Well, did you see what happens in the pages before that with Odin?
Yeah, I read it while I was peeing.
Oh, man.
My kindergarten peed like this in my downstairs bathroom while not getting penis hand on my comics.
And who
Saw
is
him
that?
make J1 big.
Thor, Big Joe. That was Thor.
And J1, once you hit that X-Men ad spread, turn your camera back on so we can watch you read it. I want to see your reaction to the last 3 pages.
That's fair enough.
Oh, shit, and I haven't given away a poster pile yet, so we will watch J1's reaction. Hey, Warlord, thank you for joining us. I want to see J1's reaction to the last 3 pages of Thor, and then I'll screen share, and we'll give away the poster pile. And Betica's back from driving home. Hold on. We're waiting on J1's reaction.
I'm sorry, I'm a slow reader.
No, you're fine. Do you think someone like Cates will have the same clout as someone like Ditko in the future?
Maybe.
I think the answer is probably only because he's shown what he can do with a variety of characters in canon and of his own creation. That I think, will he be on the Mount Olympus of someone like Ditko? I don't know if he's been a big game changer that way yet, but he's still got a lot of creation left in him that I think he's done some good things.
He's starting pretty good, though.
Yeah. And I think it's been with his own creator property and in established universes that I'm willing to, I think I have 2 Donny Cates shirts. I bought one of the Devil's Advocate shirts that, the sleeves say like read comics and do dope shit. The other one, I think I have it in Cates We Trust. Kaiser Jose, X-Men, I can understand the frustration. I think when we hit the Immortal X-Men, I think it's at the end of April, could be a good jumping on time. Spidey, the Beyond arc to me has been amazing with all of these different creators passing it on. But frankly, in mid-April, we get a new, what it will officially be, volume 6 of Amazing Spider-Man. So we'll get ASM number 1 again. And Jelly and I plan on doing a big breakdown of here's everything that you might need to know or might have missed from the volume, that I would say I've seen enough faith for me restored in Spider-Man to hop on and see what happens in this next reset. Cates is my favorite writer, at least currently. Yeah, I agree with that, Biggie, that I think both Cates and Tynion for me have shown a broad breadth of different writing styles on different things right now. That I would agree with that. Cole, no, the answer is no. Sync your headphones to something else, but it's going to play that same dumbass EU video until you're done re-adding things, until they let you add stuff on the PC side, which I think they're getting close to. I don't disagree with you here. That I think, because was Tinny on Marauders, I think it was one of those things that started off good and then just kind of lost focus, that I would agree with that. Yeah, another Spider-Man #1. I agree with you there. Kenneth, no, you do not. That I will, if I ever have a you need to be here, then I will announce the time frame during which I will give that giveaway. Since the premise of tonight's Shop Talk is I've been drinking and I need to cathartic, then I will do so. So, J1, are you far enough away where I can do the poster pile giveaway? Or are you close enough where I keep vamping?
So I didn't have. Oh my God. Holy.
Turn your camera on. I want to watch it. I want to be a voyeur.
Like, holy fuck, dude.
Right?
Well, it's official. Odin's dead in comics and the MCU now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the way we were just pining over what happened in Venom, all of that is true in this issue of Thor.
God damn. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's where, you guys think Beta Ray Jim becomes the new Thor?
No.
I'm telling you.
I can tell you this right now.
I'm calling it Beta.
I'm going to tell you this one right now, and there ain't nobody that's going to get me to say anything different right now.
You say Beta Ray Jim?
Thor might be one of the fucking strongest guys in all of Marvel now.
Right.
With the exception of the certain Celestials.
Yeah.
Did he just call him Beta Ray Jim?
No, I heard Bill. I have the Bill Jim problem all the time.
Beta Ray Bill!
Dude, holy fucking power up.
Right?
Well, yeah, he explained to him that he can't get the Odin Force until he's completely gone. And then it's like, boom.
He's like, sorry, I lied to you. God damn.
The invocation of his mother throughout this issue, and we're like, say more?
But wait a minute. Then why did Thanos put hands on him like that if he in the MCU if he already would control the Odin Force by then?
Because the movies are different from the comics canon.
Yeah.
He says Earthworm Jim or Beta Ray William. All right.
Beta Ray William?
I'm going to drop this link one more time in case.
What sword do you think?
Does that not look like the sword that Beta Ray Bill dropped at the beginning?
It does, but
I'm telling you, that's the Ray sword. Then what's gonna happen is he's gonna make that dude go back into the hammer, and he's gonna give the hammer to Beta.
Touche, Shutter. Touche. Wait till Captain Universe shows up. So if you've not commented,
please don't give me Captain Universe.
Tuesday's poll list video, then do so. You might have to let the video play for like 30 seconds for your comic or your comment to stick. But my clock says 11:52. At 11:54, I'm going to do the poster pile giveaway. I'm just going to keep watching J1's reactions because they make me tingly in my nether bits.
I say Kate's for Spider-Man.
Beta Ray Jane, I like that, Kaiser.
We need a good Spider-Man story arc. Give me Kate's on Spider-Man so I can finally read some Spider-Man.
Well, who's writing the new Spider-Man?
Well, if you're saying ASM #1 is coming, so they're just using Ben Reilly as a holder until Peter Parker comes back for Amazing Spider-Man.
But we saw a good disappearance of Ben Reilly. Like, it's made sense in the continuity. Like, it makes sense in a way where we see ASM be Peter and we see Scarlet Spider show back up. Oh, I don't know why I'm looking in Venom for who's doing ASM 1. I need to open fucking Spider-Man. Hey, Carlito.
What is up?
So again, it's 11:53. I'll drop the link one more time. Win a poster pile, like I said. Comment on that, and I will get you an entry for the poster pile. Like I said, I don't have very many extra books from this week yet because I came home sick from work on Wednesday, and the owner of the LCS next to my work, where both Burke and I shop, unexpectedly passed over the weekend. So I will try and find some good extras as I thumb through this. So you got about 30 more seconds.
Share my screen, will you?
Yep. I'll share J1 real fast, and then we'll do the post pile. Oh, Inception. Oh, how to read comicsillegally.com.
But look at the swords.
Yeah, the length is different.
The hilt, the grip.
Yeah, so I don't know. That might, like, initial guess was they were similar, but now that I look at them side by side,
oh shit, they do look different.
But we also see Beta Ray drop the sword.
Yeah. But then, but you know what you see? Look at Thor's new fucking armor.
Yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah.
Beastie.
God damn, dude. Beastie is like not even. Oh.
I'll pull that up while I click on my screen share. The Clone Sword saga. That's good.
Hey, what is the sword on God Country?
Bag of Seven says the bong looks bigger. Very nice.
Sword on God Country? That's oh my God. Val.
Oh, you're a fake God Country fan, J1.
Stop it, you.
You can tell me how many copies of each printing were made.
I can.
You can't tell me the name.
It's because he asked.
All right, so on this Tuesday's pull list video, we had 31 unique comments. We have not had a duplicate winner yet.
Valifax,
there you go. So is this poster pile 4 or 5? This will be 4. So our winner of the 4th poser pile in the year of our Lord 2022. Hey!
What? These knee pads are for blowjobs?
You know what I'm going to do, NWO Comics? I'm going to send you some bangers. Because you think you know what bangers are because they're old and they're worth 12 cents a piece?
Bangers.
Bangers. You don't know what a bangers is if bangers hit you in the face with my bangers.
Bangers are what your balls do on your chin.
Oh, bangers. All right, so I'm gonna make the note that
Bangers are actually what KM does to AM.
bangers
all night.
All right. So I'll show this puppy off one more time in terms of the super chat. If not, I give away bangers occasionally, Kaiser. But everybody on the panel here, but maybe Helvetica, have been awake when I have been drunk enough to do my full-fledged old school Biggie impression. Like, I haven't seen Biggie go or NWO Comics go full wrestler lately, but over the summer, hey, K-pop junkie, thank you for joining us. Yes, we are nerds. Good night, Kenneth.
Good night, Kenneth.
But my Biggie impression used to be quite good. Yeah, Biggie, I've got, it's like 5 to 7 modern books that I will send your way, but I think since we both have a certain thirst for a certain spider who may be a Gwen or a Gwenum or Ghost Spider, I might have a little bit of little flavor to add in. Well, and see, I can take on your old school angry Biggie and just call it vintage. All right. So
Vintage
the last
Biggie.
thing that I'll show off before I share the wheel from one computer to another. This is tonight's Super Chat giveaway. It is a 9/6 We Live number 5. It is the second print from Rabbit Comics, and it is signed by the man Gorkum Demir. Why am I giving this away? 2 things. If you saw yesterday's video, it's because my 3-year-old goes, "You can't put that on the wall. It's too scary." And second is, it was the closest thing I could pick up and go, let's do Super Chat tonight. That anybody who gives me $1, I'm going to give away a book that is worth way more than that because I love you. And for as often as auctions and other live things happen on my own channel, like seeing me is like seeing Sasquatch. You think I exist, but you can't confirm that it's really me when you see me. So it's midnight central on my clock. I'll give you another 2 minutes if there's anybody who wants to throw $1 in on that super chat, not because I am a scumbag looking for more money, but I honestly think it's going to take me 2 minutes to share the wheel with myself and move it over to my other computer.
Well, while you're talking about that, I'm going to talk about God Country by Donny Cates.
Boom.
Because Netflix picked it up, and I cannot wait to see it.
Nice.
Like, honest to God. And if you Google it, right, and you go to the second one on after you search God Country Netflix, it takes you to a video, God's Own Country, and talks about it is in Yorkshire, a withdrawn gay farmer begins a torrid affair with a Romanian migrant worker who shows him the depths of his capacity for affection. That's what happens when you go to God Country on Netflix. So don't do that. It's not out enough yet. Maybe give them another month or two before
they're going to sell you a tower.
Yeah.
All right.
So don't
Kaiser Jose, I'm going to get you added to the wheel. Thank you so much.
But supposedly they're doing it as a movie, which I think is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Since it's only like a 5-issue story.
Yeah. I could see that. And I might ask you, my shop has a first print #1 signed by Cates in 9/8 for I think $320.
That's not a bad price either.
Okay. I'll go back because I've thought about getting it or seeing if he would trade me, because I'm sending basically all of my number 2s that I got from you, especially that second print number 2, which is worth a metric ton, seeing if he would trade some of those. But I think for him it might be hard since one of them is signed. All right, Oddball, I'm adding you to the wheel. And then I am going to add.
Yeah, dude. So if it's the cover A, that's a great price.
Okay. I'll do that. That some of you have seen how silly I've gotten into chasing a couple of NFTs as of recent. There's another one that I like that mints tomorrow. Bag of sevens. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself logged into this other device. We'll share this out, and then I'm going to go pass out and hope that my kids sleep in, or my dad lets them climb all over him while I sleep in tomorrow.
Is he visiting?
So originally when I had to go to school for parent-teacher conferences, he was going to come down and watch the kids on Wednesday night and then go home.
Yeah.
But with the snow that had hit us, he
decided to stay for a few.
Yeah, and he works for the DOD. So he brought his unclassified computer and his chip card.
Yep.
And was able to log in from work. So he bounced the kids back and forth today. Tomorrow he'll do a little bit of work. I'm going to guess he stays with me through Saturday, because Saturday my mom's coming down to watch Toby play basketball. So,
like, I literally just found out one of my coworkers is in Michigan right now hunting.
Nice. All right.
And he's still working because he does everything. He does his 8 hours on the computer there, and then because that's all they cared about.
Well, and he, like you, signed in at 6:30, didn't have anything to do until like 10.
Yeah.
So he signed in, read his email, and then made breakfast for the kids. And I woke up and stumbled downstairs and was like, I have a conference with a parent in 15 minutes. And he was like, okay, I got it. All right. So on the wheel, we got 5 Umpties, 2 Deadpool 420s, 2 David Reese's, 5 White Pages, 5 J1s, 4. I should have 5 Shutters, not 4. Two Pop-Tarts, 2 Kaiser Jose's, an Oddball, and a Joey bag of 7s. Yeah, K-Pop, I feel like agree with you. We didn't get the ice first, but we are at about 6.5, 7 inches of snow. So I think this is episode 15, and we have enough, or it's a small enough super chat that I'm going to up the spin time. I'm going to shuffle it 15 times. I'm going to do it. So we got Umpty.
Can we have music?
Uh-oh, I accidentally shuffled instead of customized. Cole, did you put a super chat on there and I missed it? Or a super sticker? Let's see. Let's go with, do you want Happy Bee or Happy Whistling Ukulele?
Ooh, Happy Whistling Ukulele.
Oh, did I miss Cole? And I missed to say thank you to Cole?
I'm scrolling. Shutter.
I will err on the side of trusting Cole, only because Cole is a patron.
Yeah.
Oh, the first or second one, then I might have missed it early on. And Cole, the book that you bought for $1 on Patreon is also giving you the Cole Discord giveaway, plus some other goodies, plus whatever's in your mystery box that you got from Instagram. So if you win this tonight, then that's going to go in that pile as well. And I'm going to abuse the system for $1 book that Cole bought. So we shuffled it once. So Pop-Tarts on top, 2 Kaiser, 3 David, 4 Cole, 5 White Pages, 6 Kaiser, 7 Cole, 8 Cole, 9 Umpty, 10 White Pages, 11 Shutter, 12 Shutter, 13 White Pages, 14 J1, and 15 is Cole. So here we go. The winner is getting this beautiful 9/6 We Live number 5 signed by Gorkum Demir. Go!
I love it. Thank you. That makes me happy.
It's going out finally on Sunday or Saturday, Tate. That I found some Wolvies that even if you don't have them, they're dope. Pop-Tart, Shutter, All right, I think it's going to be White Pages, David, or Cole. Oh, it might be David. There you go, David. 2 wins in the night. So I know you've commented on some stuff. I don't know if we follow each other on Instagram, only because I tend to remember like random channel names than individual people names. So David, I will try my best to get a hold of you since you picked up 2 things tonight. Hey, there we go. Then David, send me a DM and go, here's my address. Send me your shit. And I'll hit you up with a tracking number on Sunday. Yeah, I tell everybody when they DM me on Instagram to be super mean with me. Hey, Ian, because I either pay slow or I ship slow, or and sometimes I do both. Then perfect, David. I will check it out when I'm on my computer, on my phone, when we're done here this evening. But congratulations. David has been somebody who's been supporting me a whole hell of a lot recently, that I will make sure that if you comment on one of my shorts, I'm like, yeah, here's a canned comment. But if you comment on anything else, I'll try and give you some legitimate engagement, because if you're going to listen to me mumble for 10 to 20 minutes at a time, then I'm always going to appreciate it. What's happening tomorrow? You get to see me and Ainsley open some Funko Pops tomorrow. I don't think I'm releasing anything on Saturday or Sunday, but since I fell asleep during movie night post Super Bowl offerings on Sunday, one of the things that I think I'm going to consistently offer here in the Poserverse, one night a week. Oh, hell yeah, David. It's going to be your first slab. That's awesome. I still have my first one. It is Cosmo the Wonder Dog.
Where's it at?
It's in a box in the storage room. It's not on the wall. My wife wouldn't let me put like a dozen slabs up there, so I can put a couple. But David, I'll make sure you get some love in there with your spoopy horror and other things. Kaiser Jose, if you haven't seen the Discord link drop, as the other folks tonight will tell you, I will just randomly start a giveaway in the Discord, and I'm going to do one of 3 things: give away a slab, give away a $50 plus mystery box, or pack a box full of exclusives that I have duplicates of, or they were spec books that didn't pan out, but they had beautiful covers on the exclusive or some variants. and hopefully you like them, because I'm all about paying it forward. That everything that I want to do over here is like, at the end of the day, you know, Cole, who I feel like Cole and the Comic Burrito boys are one of the folks that I've known for the longest. J1 is then number 2 or number 3 on that list. That if you look at the original art that got done for my blog and now my YouTube channel, is that I'm just a guy screaming into the void about comics. Almost 2 years into this YouTube journey, I am in awe that the number of people who will just, like, we got 16 people after midnight on a fucking Thursday into a Friday morning. And I know, like, is that as big as some of the other folks around here? No. Is that 16 more people in the chat plus 3 more people on a panel with me? Because if you go back and look at like my first 20 videos, it's me in my closet, like in caveman lighting. That I just appreciate everybody being around, and I want to give things away that I've gotten where it's like, oh, I accidentally bought 2 of these, or I don't need multiple copies of this, or here's some dope things that don't fit my collection. That if I can't sell it to you, then I'll give it to you for free. Because that's where I'm at. You've heard me talk about my drunken conversations with J1, where J1 and I are like, we've traded books before. We've picked each other's pockets before and felt guilty about it. We've picked each other's pockets before and then like spiked the football and danced. That everybody who's here on the panel are people that I have deep connections with, that they are my mental health support structure, and that they are people that I never would have connected with if, you know, there was one day I wasn't randomly like, I'm going to open these books and talk some shit on, I don't know what this is, or this is, or this is. So that's I had a rough day when all of this started. That J1 will tell you with some back and forth that we had, that I was actively in my own head and crying throughout the day. Now I'm going to do it for the other reason that this will be like 7-drink poser, the crying and loving and affectionate poser. But I appreciate everybody. Here's to next week's shop talk, where I'll be less drunk because I have to show up to work on Friday, I think.
I lost my sign that says "Be right back. I need a beer."
Oh, well, J1 can look for it, and I'll sip my blackberry moonshine that, I've almost done some damage on that bottle. But
blackberry moonshine, that sounds fucking good.
I got it from my in-laws for Christmas from the Ozark Mountain Distillery in Missouri. So
hey, you give me the go-ahead, and I'll come up for a weekend and hang out.
Oh, hell yeah. Or we still have some kind of relation to either me or Emily living down that way. So, yeah, J1 and I live 3 hours away from each other. So there will be some unholy union at some point.
It's got to.
But, yeah, I'm going to click over here. I'm going to click on this. I got to switch over to this one after I clicked on the promo and never did. So, as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.